Hello and welcome back to session 16, where we can now turn our attention onto completing the EVP rule. Now previously, we've looked at the EVP rule, we've looked at the V, which stands for your voice or your hypnotic voice, and also P, which is your pausing. So now we can look at the start of the EVP rule, which is your eye contact, your hypnotic stare. So what's important to understand now about what we've learned from this course is everything we've partaken in, everything you've heard, and everything you've put into place and practice, hopefully with a hypnosis buddy. We've looked at that in regards to working with a client and treating a client via Skype, but also without the eye contact. Now, this is super important. This means that everything we've done up until now can be done without using your hypnotic stare or your hypnotic eye contact. Now, the reason we've left this towards the end of your program is because it seems from the feedback we get from our face-to-face students, but also studying and practicing hypnotists, that using eye contact can be one of the hardest things you do as a hypnotist. Now, it's not to say you shouldn't do it. It's definitely a vital part into becoming an influential hypnotist, but it seems to take a little bit more practice, and there are a few extra additives we need to put into place in order for it to work in your favor. So, what do we mean by hypnotic eye contact? Well, if you've ever found yourself talking to someone maybe with a bit more authority than you, maybe somebody you look up to, it could be a famous superstar, it could be a sports player, it could be your hero, or it could be just a motivational speaker. You will find that these people with a lot of confidence tend to use a lot of eye contact if you have the chance to speak to them personally. Now, if you've ever spoken to somebody like this and you've found yourself being caught in their gaze, what tends to happen? Do you find it uncomfortable? Do you find it a little bit intimidating? Do you find that you want to move away or look away from this person in order to break the tension? This is what eye contact does. Now, in regards to eye contact with the conscious mind, it does a few things for us in our favor. We know the conscious mind is on alert for danger. One of its major roles is to protect the mind, especially the unconscious mind, but also figure out whether the situation you find yourself in is danger or it's safety. This is the fight or flight rule. And what staring or intense eye contact can do is put the conscious mind on alert to try and figure out the situation that you're in, to figure out what's your next step. How do we get away from the danger, or are we safe enough to continue? This means that when we're using eye contact, the conscious mind gets so caught up in the moment and gets fixated on the situation and has to spend its time trying to figure out whether to fly or fight. Now, as a hypnotist, we obviously don't want our clients to fall into the fight mode, and we don't want them to fall into the flight mode. What we do want them to fall in is the fixation of attention, meaning that there's a few extra things we need to add to our eye contact to make sure we create a sense of safety, care, but still using the pressure that eye contact creates. So in regards to working with clients, your hypnotic gaze or your hypnotic stare, in this case your hypnotic eye contact, needs to be like so. We need to use our eye contact for attention. This means that we want to grab the conscious mind's attention and let it feel the safety that we're portraying through our eye contact, because just like in the ABSU formula, we need attention for a client to go into trance, and we also need to put our attention on our client, so we're getting attention back and forward. But what we can do with the eye contact, as an addition to everything we've done so far, is allow the unconscious mind's attention to fall on us as the hypnotist, and then give it a sense of safety so it can almost move out of the way. This means that we're almost distracting the conscious mind while it tries to figure out what is occurring right now. Should I fly right now? Should I stay? Should I fight? What do I do with this situation? How do I work with this pressure that eye contact can create? And while doing this, you're distracting the conscious mind out of the way of the unconscious mind. But most of all, we're gaining attention. If you want your client to listen to everything you want to say and everything you need to say, especially with using hypnotic language or some of the processes we've used so far, we also want our client's attention on us and back and forward. We have to put our attention on our client. and what shows more attention or more care than giving someone eye contact. Now, this is to say, if we're looking at the pressure side of things, we're not pressuring the conscious mind to fixate on us as the hypnotist in a bad way. We need to let it feel the sense of care that we have. This means that we're not looking at our client directly in the eyes. We're not leaning forward and having a staring competition. We're not baring our teeth as we're doing something mean or intimidating. What we are doing is giving the attention of the eye contact, creating what is the psychological pressure or the conscious pressure of attention that eye contact can give, but also putting a sense of care in us. We're letting our client know that we're looking after you. We're letting our client know that we're paying attention to this. So the best way to do this is to put a caring smile on your face, is to pay attention and act inside as if whatever they're saying is the most important thing we've heard. We want to let them know that we are looking after them 100%, that they're safe. And what a better way to do this than giving them complete eye contact and holding that eye contact. Now, what you'll find, especially when it comes to unconscious moments, how quickly unconscious moments occur when you give someone eye contact with care. This is not eye contact with baring your teeth or eye contact to look at them and say inside your mind that you'll go into trance every time I look at you. There will be a sense of that, but what I'm doing ultimately is I'm showing my client that I'm paying attention to them. I'm listening to them, and eye contact does this. So the great thing about eye contact, putting a smile on your face, putting a caring tone in your hypnotic voice, and using your pausing, of course, you've got the EVP rule in its entirety now, is to let my client know that, hey, I'm paying attention to you. And the eye contact is keeping the attention on us. What you'll find when using eye contact, especially in this circumstance, is that you need to put it on your client and then hold it there. You'll find that sometimes your clients will want to look away to break the tension. Sometimes your clients will get so fixated on your eye contact and it's as if you could move around your office, so to speak, and they would follow you. This is great attention on you. This is also known as the lover's eyes, meaning that if you've ever been in love before, you've maybe seen one of those movies, how there's eye contact, there's a smile, and you know these two people are falling in love. Now, we don't want to go that far, but this is to show you what that unconscious attention can do. This means that even if your client's eyes become closed, you still want to maintain that eye contact, still visually see what they're doing, because we're always on the hunt for those unconscious moments. So if you're too busy looking around the room, too busy trying to figure out what to say to your client next, you're breaking that eye contact. It's that pressure we want to create in a positive way of the conscious mind to put it on alert, but also to let it know that there's safety involved, there's care, we're looking after them. And the attention is crucial. We need attention for hypnosis to occur. We also want our client to feel that we as the hypnotist are listening to everything they want to say, because we need them to do the same for us, and eye contact does that for us. So how do you practice this? Well, it's very simple. There's no set rules on how long or how big your smile has to be or how long you need to hold eye contact with. Your best bet is as soon as your client sits down and they start to talk about their problem, you go through the priming sequence, use eye contact, pay attention to them. As you're talking to someone, stare directly into their eyes or just on the bridge of the nose, if you will, and watch those unconscious moments. Now, if you see those unconscious moments, we know what to do with them. You know to use the process instructions. Then when you move on to your hypnotic interview, use eye contact. If your client is giving you back or answering the questions you're asking them, keep the eye contact focused. Even if they look away, maintain your eye contact. Keep a smile on your face and care for them. Listen to everything they have to say. Now, this is almost like sub-communicating unconsciously to say, hey, unconscious mind, I'm watching you, give me some more unconscious moments, because the conscious mind will be so tied up in trying to figure out what is occurring right now. What is the pressure I'm feeling? How do I deal with this? As soon as you put an angry or intimidating look on your face, the fight or flight will kick in and you'll miss the opportunity to work with a client. You'll make them feel more uncomfortable rather than pulling them in to that hypnotic attention. So that completes your EVP rule. The eye contact is important. Now, even when you're working with Skype, and we're going to have some advanced hypnotic strategies coming up, where we show you how to set up the perfect Skype session. It's crucial with this training program. If you have the camera on with your client, you can still use eye contact. Look directly into the camera at their eyes and maintain that focus on them. Nothing screams worse then you looking around the room trying to figure out where in your notes you are or trying to write things down as you go through. It's not to say you can't do this, but every time you break that eye contact, you run the risk of your client breaking attention from you and looking around the room becoming distracted. So with this, I do want to also bring up, and we looked at this previously before, to gain a little bit more information on eye closure. Now, when it comes to eye closure, as we've stated, and I do want to repeat it, we're going to look at eye contact exclusively just as to get a client to close their eyes just to get rid of distraction. So it's a great thing. When we're using unconscious moments and using them to utilize them for any sort of hypnosis formula, you will find that one of the biggest unconscious moments you'll see is the fact that a client will blink a lot and the eye reflex becomes very heavy, so to speak, and your clients will blink a lot more often. If you find your client going to close their eyes, allow them to. This is great for hypnosis. However, if you go through your whole session and your client never closes their eyes, this is fine too. This gives you an opportunity that if your client's eyes never close, it doesn't mean hypnosis can't work. You can do some very exciting things with hypnosis using eye contact with the eyes open. This just allows you to use your hypnotic eye contact to the utmost importance. So there we have it, your EVP rule. You have the eye contact now, you have the voice, and you have the pausing. But also realize that eye closure for just this circumstance in this training program really has nothing more to do other than getting rid of distraction. The great thing about keeping your client's eyes open is they can see you the whole time. You can see them, and you can really maintain that hypnotic stare. So there's your EVP rule. Like we said, we left this till last, so you can gain the opportunity to use the processes and the techniques. Then this is an addition. It's not a must all. If you find that eye contact is very intimidating for you and you don't like it, you just practice it until it becomes a part of the way you communicate with people. However, if you don't get to that point, it really doesn't matter. Eye contact is just an addition. It's nothing more than that. So there we have it. So when you're ready, move on to the next track and we'll see you very soon. Bye for now.